Right. Technical one more time.
That's it. That's what dreams are made of.
Yeah. So we go live on Instagram and we should be done. Let's go. We should be on soon.
Yeah. Look at this. That looks awesome. All right, so welcome everybody. We are we're changing the show name, correct? Or we're gonna try to shift it to more just more of an official way of the title and everything like that. But this is the show, a Green Relief show. My name is Sean. I'm your host, and to my left, your right is Mr. Carey, the owner of A Green Relief.
Pleasure to meet you.
All right, perfect. Now, just a little bit of housekeeping up front. I will actually go ahead and put the link in for setting up your appointment for medical marijuana card. This is what we're doing. This is what this show is all about. We are educating all of the folks in Florida, whether you live in Pensacola or you live all the way down at the south end of Miami. We want to help you. We want to be able to make sure that you know exactly what's going on in terms of the state of affairs for medical marijuana in Florida, and that's what we do every single day. All right, and if you haven't done so already, if you're in the Kissimmee or the Orlando area, we want you to go ahead, go to www.agreenrelief.com/get-started. Start filling out some of that patient information so we can get you set up with an appointment with one of our doctors here at A Green Relief. And when you become part of the family and get yourself set up with a medical marijuana card through our doctor's offices, we're going to hook you up with a t-shirt like this one. All right. And if you follow us on Instagram and Facebook and subscribe to our podcasts, we're going to go ahead and hook you up with a t-shirt. You just got to go ahead and make sure that you screenshot everything and give us a proof. And then what office do you want them to come into?
Oh, we'll come into Oak. That'd be great.
Okay, which is this office in Kissimmee?
Yep, 801 West Oak Street, Kissimmee, Florida, 34741. Right across the street from Oak Hospital.
That's it. Can't miss it.
Nope. Then you can go over to 609 Virginia Drive, and we'll open that up not this week, the following week. We'll be fully loaded with products and t-shirts, and that'll be up and running probably 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. The new office in Lancaster is up and running next week. We go live there next week, Wednesday.
Perfect.
And we got a doctor there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So we're able to start seeing patients all over the place.
Yeah, you can't get away from us. All right. So today we don't have any products. We did a product demo of some vape pens yesterday. If you didn't catch that, go ahead and check out the other episode. But today we want to talk about what medical marijuana or just marijuana in general is going to look like in Florida 5 years from now. Things look really promising right now with Nikki Fried and her little her gang up there in Tallahassee seem to be doing some good things right now. She has appointed Holly Bell as the director of cannabis here in Florida. And that means a lot of different things, because she is in charge of agriculture, and this is Nikki Fried. She's in charge of agriculture and consumer services. So not only does that, cover medical marijuana, but that also covers hemp and cash crops and things like that. So there's going to be a lot of changes here in the next couple of years, which hopefully the way things are going, it looks good. DeSantis is, he's not dealing with any kind of bullshit up there. He's just going straight into it. He's like, hey, listen, we don't want any appeals from what Rick Scott was doing. And he's really just trying to expedite this process and make sure we can get the best possible service here in Florida.
Yep.
So with that being said, DeSantis is starting to do a couple of other things. He's cleaning up house. Let's talk about this, because he's appealing for the the flower, correct?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Now, talk to me about what's so important, or why is having flower in general, the actual bud itself, not any kind of oil or any tinctures or anything like that. Why is that such a big deal? Why would that get appealed?
Honestly,
Yeah.
So, medically speaking, you don't need the ganja. You don't need the bud. You don't need the actual plant itself. You can break it down into tinctures and gummies and different ways that we can do it without having to break it down, light it, smoke it. People put marijuana into tobacco papers, and that's called a blunt. Put tobacco into your system. So it's a very different thing. That's why I personally think they don't want to do it. But the reason why they're pushing so hard for it, when you think of marijuana, you think of the bud. You think of the actual flower, the actual bud like this, or the smaller grains. You want to see what it looks like. And that's what they want to get past, because people first do it and they go to the dispensary. Oh, you don't have that. Well, you got an oil. Or you can have some gummy bears, and that's not what you want. I can just contact the local guy down the street. I've been doing it for 10, 15 years, and he'll deliver to my house.
Yeah.
And he's cheaper.
Right. And he probably doesn't pay taxes on that either.
No, definitely not. They're not going to write down my consumption. I'm not going to do any of that. So I understand why they want to do it. I get the money aspect behind it, but don't say it's for medical. Don't say it's because you're trying to make patients get better relief. Because it's bullshit. It's not.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily a cover up, but it's just not being.
No, it is a cover up. You can say that shit. You can be honest. It is a cover up, because that's how they want to make their money. That's what most people understand. People understand marijuana. They understand the bud. When you go to a dispensary, they're pissed off. So it's so much easier. This is crazy. To buy an ounce for $350 at a dispensary, compared to $300, you can buy what 5, 6, 7, 8 different pens.
Yeah.
You can get gummies. You can get tinctures, and you can get such longer relief for that. But because us as humans and creatures, we're creatures of habit, you know.
Oh, I am.
So exactly, it's a break of habits. 21 days? You have to do something for 21 days. That 22nd day, your body will not understand. Why do you think people smoke? Why do you think Dum Dum Lollipops came out? Cigarette smokers. People who start smoking cigarettes, best way to start doing it. Go buy a bag of Dum Dum Lollipops. Anytime you want to get a cigarette, you miss this, you know. Granted, you have the nicotine patches for the crave your tobacco thing.
Right.
It's your body system. It's the same thing like ganja. People's going to be, oh, I want to go. It's actually a habit. It's something people do to relieve their stress, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Buying the bud, breaking it apart, grinding it. Like, it's so much getting the keef out of it. It's so much that they do, and they're used to that.
It is. It's like it's a ritual, and it's, you know, like, it's almost the process, because, you know, after you've done it so many times, you realize, okay, I'm gonna break off the bud. I'm gonna open up the grinder. I'm gonna put it in there. You've got, like, you know, even if you're like around friends or something, and you're talking, and you're packing it, you know, getting everything out, and then you start rolling it up or whatever it is. It's that relaxation process that, you know, at the end, like, as soon as you take that first hit, you're good.
Yeah, life is good.
Exactly. So I mean, that makes total sense. And so, I mean, in 5 years, do you think flower in general is going to be like federally legal?
No way.
No way.
Dude, federally in 50 states. That's my assumption.
Well, I mean,
but you gotta understand, federally illegal. That means that you get caught in weed in Alaska, they can't process it. All
Right.
50 states has to be changed.
yeah. Well, I mean,
In 5 years, no. I think in 6 months or less, they'll be bud out here. But you know what's crazy, man? They're trying to push the bud for medical, but the strongest bud that you can purchase in these streets are 22, 23, 24%.
Yeah.
But you know what's so crazy? They'll buy, meaning us as patients, will buy an ounce, an eighth, of that 22 to 24%. But then when we go to a dispensary and we go to True Leaf and we get the True Pods at 94%, we're like, wow, that's the best thing in the world. Wait, what? You were getting couch rich stuff on 22 to 24%. You were eating your house out. So you want to say, listen, I don't want the oil for 77%. I don't want that hybrid at 30% that Curaleaf has. It's going to give you the nice mantra to put you to sleep, have you wake up fucked up the next day.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good relief for you. Man, it's crazy how people understand things. Either we go to extreme measures or we don't do it at all. I don't think motherfuckers out here know how to cruise control life at all.
Yeah.
When it comes to liquor, we get too drunk. When it comes to food, we eat too much.
Well, that's a whole other ballgame.
But it's the same concept with this, bro.
Yeah.
You buy the bud, they continuously come back. Oil lasts you. Think about how long that $18 oil is going to last you, Sean. Now, go buy $18 worth of weed on the street or in a dispensary. That's asking you a joint or two.
Yeah.
A grand is $10.
Yeah. I mean, if let's just say, for instance, you came to a Green Relief, you got your medical card, doctor gave you a prescription list, and like we talked about yesterday, who was it that gave the 10 milligrams per day? Was that Harvest?
Harvest.
Yeah, so Harvest.
2 hits, 10 milligrams.
2 hits. Like if you're in severe pain or if you're going through chemotherapy or something and you're trying to like keep your energy up and try to eat, 2 hits is not per day, every 24 hours or, every what, 8.
Yeah, it was 24 hours, dude.
Yeah, 24 hours.
Because that's for your day because 1 hit's 5 milligrams. They're not even looking at the dosage, and they were looking to push a button. They're looking at the money aspect. It's not medical anymore. They took it out. And DeSantis would say what the fuck he wants to say. Ms. Freddie would say what the hell she wants to say. What's that lady name again?
Holly Bell.
I wish Ms. Bell, honestly, all shits and giggles aside, you don't got to contact A Green Relief, which you should, but contact somebody who's not on your payroll, who sees marijuana patients. And what they should ask a marijuana doctor is, have they seen any pediatric patients? Pediatric patients are very different to handle. Pediatric patient means 18 years under. That means a parent or guardian has to come in with them. More than likely, pediatric patients I really want to specialize in, which we do at this office here, is 5, 6, 7 years old. The kid suffering from seizures. We had the youngest kid at 3 months old coming into our office suffering over 100 seizures a day. That's when we first started this. He's in preschool now.
That's crazy.
And his mom went back to work, often takes like shit like that.
Yeah.
Dispensaries should be wanting to do, not pushing the bud. No one talks about that. No one talks about.
That was. I mean, you brought that to my mind a couple episodes ago. And it really surprised me because it's everybody who smokes or even older people who like in the 70s and way back, whatever. They just want it legalized. Like, it should be legal, whatever. But like, if you're not understanding what it can do for something like that, the applications of how this can really affect, even just a 3-month-old, right? Or a 3-year-old or a 13-year-old, like adolescents. We're not talking about getting them, doped up on THC, but with these oils or tinctures, whatever. You're putting you're just trying to rush it out there just to get the money. And if we're not taking our time and we're not, seeing what all of this can do, then we're hurting ourselves in the long run. And I think that's kind of how we run things here in the States. I love capitalism. I love it. I think that's great. I would encourage people to start their own business, but at the same time, if you're not doing the research and you're not getting yourself set up, then you're going to crash and burn, and then you're going to screw yourself in the long run.
Let me ask you a question. We've been honest the whole time knowing each other, doing this fucking show. It's going to be called The Show, just because my boy LeBron had a show called The Shot. I'm like, now look this shit up. Ain't nobody else that has something called The Show. So we're going to have a nice-ass band in the back that call The Show. Let me ask you a question. Do you personally and professionally believe, and you can tell me if this person professionally different, if marijuana is a gateway drug? Yes or no? And tell me your reason.
No, I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. Because let's just start with personal use. I think everybody has their own boundaries. Like for me, I can without a doubt say I have no desire to do any cocaine.
Nice.
No cocaine. Like, why? I drink enough coffee as it is. Like, I've got caffeine surging through my blood.
My drug.
Right. We were just reading a comment on Instagram, but personally, I have no desire to. Professionally, again, I don't think so, because if, let's just say, for instance, you're on workers' comp. Let's say I owned a business that had 15 employees, and I had, let's just say a warehouse, and somebody hurt their back, and they got workers' comp. They go into the doctor, and it's not at Green Relief, which is their first mistake. Second mistake is the doctor prescribed some kind of opioid or painkiller, right? My employee is put at risk because he is being subjected to a highly addictive drug. And drug, however you want to call it, whether that's from big pharma, a prescription drug that's manufactured, or medical marijuana. If somebody gets hooked on pain pills,
Mm-hmm.
then that's going to hurt them, and that's going to hurt me long term. At least with marijuana, I know they can come in, they can do their job, they can go home, they can medicate, sleep it off, and they'll be good to go. Right? I don't have to worry about somebody, getting hooked on these pain pills, and then all of a sudden, oh great, now they're a heroin addict because they can't, their prescription ran out.
Yeah.
So, is it a gateway drug? No, I don't think so.
You know what's crazy? Personally and professionally, I think marijuana can be and is, if not taken the right way, a gateway drug. And it's so simple because marijuana, especially when you smoke it, when you get that bud, there isn't one, and again, our state, everything's tied together here, guys. Our state is pushing for the bud to get recreational. I mean,
Right.
to get so we can start using it and recreational.
Yeah.
So you want to start doing it for medical. Now, the first thing you do when a person smokes weed is they get high. That's the first hallucinogen effect. I cannot take the CBD spectrum from that because I'm getting it off the streets. I'm getting that high factor. So now that same guy who worked in the warehouse, now guess what, bro? He didn't get the Vicodin. He didn't get the pain pills, but he went to the dispensary. He didn't come to Green Relief. He went to another office. The dispensary now has bud. What do you think they're going to push the most? Do you think they're going to push you the $70 pen that's going to last you a month?
No.
Or they're going to push you the ounce or the eighth for the same $70 that's going to last you 2 or 3 days?
Yeah.
He's going to get high. He's going to now go and operate a forklift, drive a truck, whatever he's going to do. That's even 10 times worse. Now, let's take that factor out of it. I took your example out of the way.
Yeah. They
get their card. They didn't come to Green Relief. They went to the dispensary and they got high. Do you know how many patients out there are Suboxone patients? Suboxone patients are patients that was on heroin, that was on LSD, that was on cocaine, and now weaning themselves off of drugs. Besides the Suboxone patients, you first get that hallucinogen effect, you're feeling amazing. What's next, bro? It's LSD. What's next? You're gonna pop a Molly. You're gonna after that.
Yeah.
If not trained and not properly educated on cannabis,
Right.
It can guarantee you bring you down the wrong road in life.
Well, I think that's regardless of what substance you're using. I think that's you could say the same thing with alcohol.
Why do you think Alcohol Anonymous came up? Why do you think, again, it goes back to our first thing I said to you. We're creatures of habit. We don't know how to stop. Why is there a speed limit? You don't think us as common sense adults, no, we shouldn't be driving 50 miles down a 25 mile per hour school zone? But why do we have the speed limit there for?
Yeah, it's because there's always people that are going to do it regardless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's the same, and the one person, man, everybody in this field, I think, is bullshit because they sit here and they broadcast, marijuana doesn't kill, marijuana, bullshit, give them a blunt and go drive the car on the highway.
Yeah, no.
Do people, you know what people get to the windows tinted? With your windows tinted and your sun hits you, you're going to see a glare. You're going to see a rainbow effect. Get high and drive. They're going to think they're driving to Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
They're going to pick up a box of cereal. Come on, bro. It's not Leprechaun Land of the Rainbow.
Yeah.
It is crazy what marijuana can do to people, and people don't understand it.
Well, yeah, no, I mean you're completely right, and I think that changed my opinion of it. Again, I still stand by it. I still think that it's not because
you know us. That's why.
Right. I'm talking for personally and professionally. I've seen both environments, and it takes a lot of self-control. But again, that just drives home your point. It's if you don't settle those ground rules and get a good foundation, it's pretty much open season for people to just come in.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I've always heard the saying my entire life, and I believe this. You have 5 fingers on your hand. You won't have 5 friends on your hand in your entire life. If you have 5 or more friends, it's too much. I'm talking people have been here from day 1 to day 0. They call you right now, you need something.
Yeah.
That's just my train of thought.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name those 5 people that you know, and you can tell me they have complete self-control, or even decent self-control? Who doesn't want to get in better shape? Who doesn't want to eat that McFlurry?
No, I've got one friend that comes to mind, and it's love him to death. I've been friends with him for 15 years, 16 years.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's a broken record. It's like every 6 months, it's like, all right, I'm gonna try and get back to shape. I'm gonna get back into the gym and work, family, whatever. Everything happens.
Now you add in marijuana to that. I don't know this gentleman. Let's say John Doe, who doesn't have a lot of self-drive, who's always a person that always had their mom or their best friend or their wife push him.
Yeah.
You had cannabis instead of not being educated and just buying the ganja out there, and you're going to get calcium, you're going to get stuff, you're going to be even more chunky. Dude, I'm just, the whole purpose of this and us doing this show, especially today, is educating them. Miss Nikki's going to hear us. Other dispensaries are watching us. They're replying back to us. People are commenting to us. It's getting out there.
Yeah.
We just got to be able to keep giving the word out, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I think not necessarily slowing things down, like the progress of it, but just making sure that we get a good idea of the benefits of medical. We got a good system down, and we're not just throwing it out there to the wolves, because again, like Gary said, if you're not used to it, like, let's just take, for instance, I know a couple of people, they haven't smoked in probably 30, 40 years, right?
Yeah.
Law-abiding citizens, all of a sudden they get an eighth at their dispensary. Flower's legal. They can do whatever. It's recreational. They're going to get so high.
Yeah, shit's a lot stronger now.
It's crazy. It's
People don't
crazy.
understand that.
Yeah. Like, they'll be out of commission, within 2 minutes. And they can't do anything because they're so high.
I guess who they're mad at?
They're mad at
us. You want to know why?
Everybody.
No. Let me tell you how this works. You came to Greenleaf. You got your recommendation. You're happy as a pig and shit. Now, you go into the dispensary. We talked to you about the oils, tinctures, everything else under the sun. We told you what you need to go to sleep and take away your rheumatoid arthritis and your fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia, again, is something that's pain throughout your body. You cannot pin that down. Pain is something that a person expresses. You cannot pinpoint pain. You cannot show pain. So you need your CBD1 and CBD2 receptors to go into your cannabinoids in your system to relieve that pain for you. We went through this whole process with you, my friend. 2 visits, got it all down. Now you go to the dispensary, you see Mr. John Doe there, and he sells you an eighth, and you get high. Guess what? You're blaming us. You paid us our $250 with the cheapest in the state. We split up your fees, $125 for your first visit, $125 for your second visit. The state requires 1 visit. We do it in 2. We make sure we get your medical records. We review your medical records. We do it done the right way. We went through this whole entire process with you, Sean. And you're messed up. You can't go to work, or you overslept. You're blaming us. You're not going back to the dispensary. Yep. The dispensary's going to say, did you open it? Yes. Did you use it? Yes. Was it as advertised? Yes, and okay, yes.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's going to try to cover themselves, but at the end of the day, you're right. They're going to come back to us.
You know what's worse? You go to the dispensary now, and you bought $300 worth of stuff. You bought $600 of your prescription of the vials. So you bought 4 vials, 600 milligrams. That's 2,400 milligrams off your recommendation. You know what's so crazy? Let's say you went to Trulieve and you bought that. You bought the Pineapple Express hybrids. You go to Curaleaf now. You just bought a whole box of their $18 hybrid pens. It's 20 per box. That works out to be, I think, at 1,200 milligrams or more than that. Those boxes itself, no, 12,000 milligrams works out to be. Those boxes itself, yes, 12,000, sorry. Those boxes itself, I'm not able, as your own doctor office, to see what you purchased at Trulieve. It erases your very next purchase. We can't track your milligrams. We can't track what you're buying. We can't even assist you on that. Nothing. It doesn't even show how much you paid for it. We have to ask patients, did you use your discount card yet? It's horrible how they did it. At bare minimum, when they're up there twirling their thumbs and trying to wait for a bill to get passed, they need to fuck around and come down here and regulate the shit they have now.
Yeah.
Like, it's stupid. You come to a doctor office, you want CBD products, but you also want the tincture. You also want to be able to smoke. You know what's so crazy? At the dispensary now, you're not able to buy what you want to buy. You have to go to your dispensary. If you want to buy your tinctures or you want to buy your THC products, you can buy that now. Your other CBD products or vape, you have to call into your doctor's office, have them change your recommendation to do it. And it's offered, but the dispensaries offer it, and the dispensaries put it on us as we didn't do that. It's crazy, man.
Well, again, that could just another reason why we need to just take care of what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Get the process down before we start adding more stuff. It's like we're learning a new skill, but we don't know where to stop. We just keep adding more stuff, and it's overwhelming. And then people get hurt, and people don't get the right help that they need. And then that gives, in general, I think that gives medical marijuana a bad name.
You know my fear is, man? We can look up anyone online, Google it. Marijuana doesn't kill. My fear is OPD officers and Orange County officers right now are building a machine, a breathalyzer, to see if you're driving while being high. Bro, my only fear is when, God forbid, somebody is using their medication. Let's say they took the capsules. Remember, capsules are in your system 4 to 6 hours, maybe longer. You're going to get positive for that. How do you know they took the pill at 8 o'clock and they got into a car accident and they give a breathalyzer or they give a drug test and they fail? And they blame that on them.
Yeah.
And that's the only, that person was on 30 different scripts before. They were on the opioids before. They were on the fentanyl patches.
Yeah.
They were on everything else they had. But now coming on to cannabis, they blame cannabis. I just don't want, and the numbers are going, it's going to happen, bro.
I mean,
If it's not here, Vegas, somewhere.
Well, I know in Colorado, it's it's definitely happening, but it's just at what point is it the number of people that are using, or is it the number of accidents?
Right now in the state of Florida, I work with a lot of, and I mean a lot of auto injury accident attorneys, and we've not had one patient or potential client, even an officer, talk about cannabis. I've been to a lot of functions where people's been arrested. We have a lot of patients now. By the way, this is the crazy fact. If you get arrested in the Orange or Osceola County, if you get arrested in the state of Florida for marijuana possession, you need to contact 407-572-8643, and your charges were not intent to distribute. I guarantee you this: if you're a user of cannabis and you're honest with our physicians, your charges will be dropped and or dismissed because you got caught with less than 2.5 ounces on you, and your purposes were medicinal. You were looking to use your medication. You just didn't know what to call before. You contact our office. Locked up, not probation or not, I don't care. I don't care if your case has been settled already. We have patients already that came in here and got it done, bro.
Say that amount again.
2.5 ounces or less. That's the same bill, and they're going to be able to grow up to 5 plants in the state of Florida. And you're able to travel around with 2.5 ounces. Able to buy different dispensaries. It's going to be really cool out here, but look what they're focusing on.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let me ask you this. We've got a couple of states that are fully recreational.
Mm-hmm. But time out now. Fully recreational, but there's still medical marijuana offices in there.
Right.
You know, that's a huge tax break. Anybody out there who thinks that once marijuana becomes recreational, the medical offices are gone, trust me, brother, not even close.
Yeah.
They're coming out and they're 30% off. In Vegas, for example, if you're a medical marijuana patient in any other state or in that state, 30% off your purchase. Your state tax is 20%.
What state would you say we should start to follow or kind of model?
None.
None.
There's no state like Florida.
Yeah.
Show me a state like Florida. You can't say New York. You can't say Texas. You definitely can't say California. Show me another state that's very similar halfway similar in our makeup of how we're built. We're 45 minutes in any direction to the ocean. We're not built like Garden City. We're not built like boroughs in New York. We're not built north to south. We're built east to west because we have so much land to do. You know what's fucking different various ethnicities we have here? And not just thousands, hundreds of thousands.
Yeah. In each, you go to South Florida compared to Central Florida, compared to North Florida, and then you got the Panhandle. Like, big differences in each region.
Yes, and that's why it's like we have to modernize it ourselves. We have to take not what others have done, because no offense to any other state, but we have not done it right yet.
Yeah,
we've not. I've yet to go walk into a dispensary and have them separate the indicas from sativas, or even fuck that. Keep your strains all mixed in. Separate your products and tell me on your products or something there why they're medically beneficial. Do you know the medicine side of most dispensaries is different than the normal side? They make it so different. Like, okay, so you're making me want to feel awkward, and people already know I'm a medical patient. You fucked up my HIPAA rights. You totally violated me on that.
Right, just because you separated one section from the other.
Stupid as shit. And they make it so, and a lot of dispensaries I've been to, when they separated it, I'm talking to you. If I'm a medical patient, I'm talking to you behind a glass. But if I'm just straight up in there on my driver's license, I can talk to you like this and I can touch you, Sean. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
You make me feel like a criminal, and them feel like, no, man, we all need help, and them is us.
Right. Yeah.
Them isn't a different person. Them is us, because we are one. Yeah. It's just a big difference that we have to fix.
Well, I will say it is nice having somebody like Nikki Fried, who is very positive, very. She's a no bullshit type of person. It seems like she's a lawyer from Fort Lauderdale. down South Florida, and she looks like she's trying to get stuff done. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, she created that director of cannabis position.
Yes, I believe that's what we read out there, and she did create that, and it was actually open for a couple people to apply. I didn't even do that. I would have applied, man. I swear, who has
Why?
more credentials
But
than
see,
you, boy?
But exactly, it's not a laughing matter, but it's just like, why not at that point?
9 people applied, or 7 people applied. You know what's crazy? The news broadcasted it after. They should have broadcasted it before. They should have put the shit on Indeed or something.
Yeah, and
Man, you guys should have did something.
put a
people
Craigslist post in there.
Something. Let people know, because who out here, what physician, what doctor, what business owner like me is looking for a job? We're not. We're looking to make our practice build for the next, and we're looking to become better. Now, if something out there can change for everybody, why not make it known? But that's neither here nor there.
Right. But I kudos to Nikki, because she put that position in place, and she wasn't just trying to take everything on by herself. You know, having Holly Bell in there is to basically oversee everything, because you got to remember the Nikki Free's position. Again, she is the Commissioner of Agriculture and Consumer Services. Her departments oversee the medical marijuana cards, right? So
Yes.
that is why it's nice to have Nikki there up in Tallahassee. But again, she also had the foresight to go ahead and say, I'm going to have somebody that's dedicated just to see the direction of cannabis. And I don't think any other state has that.
No, that's something we can look up.
We'll have to look that up.
I wonder why they did that. I know one good. Well, I would like to ask them is, let's say that I know that on the website, I can get that number for you. There's a website from the state of Florida. They send us to us monthly of how many patients are in the state of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we have 200,000 patients in the state of Florida. I guarantee you this, that less than 100,000 of them, less than 50% of medical marijuana patients doesn't have the medical marijuana card, meaning the actual physical card. And the crazy thing about this shit, Sean, they pay $77. They as us, meaning patients,
And that's just to the state.
just to the state
Just to the
separately,
state.
just to process that particular card. So did they put the director of cannabis in there to hopefully start building out more cards? Because it's not even, when we first started this, when you first started getting a medical cannabis card, they made offices like us, that any patient who wants to get a marijuana card, take brand new passport photos. So we
That's right. I forgot about that.
see,
That's so crazy. It's making it more difficult.
they make us take passport photos, and then about a year to a year and 2 months after they say you can use driver license photos, which is great. Now, if you're using the same photo that you have for the driver license picture, and you paid the $77, why are patients taking 6, 7, 8 months to get their card?
That to me that is a little ridiculous. You know, I would like to see it, and this is just right off the top of my head. I would like to see it like a DMV almost, right?
I would like to
Almost.
have that process sound like a DMV.
Exactly. The process of the DMV.
Or
Maybe not
even
as-
go back old school. Like, you watch movies back in the day when you used to watch like jailhouse movies, and the guys were making the license plates, and they would make like, man, do it like that. Take the $77 and take $25 of it, and go hire. Go. Let's build the American community. Build the Florida community. Let's create jobs to do that.
Yeah.
How hard can that possibly be? DMV does it now. They do it in house.
Right.
They
Yeah.
do the shit in house.
I mean, you know what would be really cool is if you could go ahead, either the state gives them out to each doctor's office, or the doctor's office purchases, but the cards themselves, and you literally, it comes with a template, and you just have a card maker, right?
Yes.
It can't be that
And
hard.
that's the same thing the state of Florida does, and every other state for the DMVs. That card is already on there. That strip is already active.
Yeah.
When they print the image on there, they have to swipe the strip just very similar to a hotel office when you're
Right.
activating your card. So that now driver license is active that way. They can do the same thing here. That's great. Us two together right now came with a great solution. It took us how
Nobody
long?
take that idea.
Yeah, we didn't have to have a new job. We didn't have to create a whole new field. Like,
It's automation. It's 2019, for God's sakes. Let's
Right.
get ourselves together here.
I just pray that Miss Nikki didn't take the job. She didn't know what she was in for. She started hiring out help.
Yeah.
And the help that she hired, I don't know her. I would like to know her. But from her resume speaking, she knows nothing. She came from hemp or something. show me what you've done in Canvas. What has her resume done? How are we looking to change this? If they ain't talking about nothing.
Well, with that being said, do you think it's going more towards hemp as a cash crop, kind of like what the citrus groves are doing?
I personally think that, yeah, smart as fuck, you're right.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you're right.
Because we've got a great state for it, got good weather, sunshine state. I think that would be huge. It would be great to have something like that. I mean, I'm all for having orange groves and stuff, but I don't know if you've ever lived by an orange grove before. It stinks like shit. It does. Yeah. And if you go out on 60, like you're going towards, like go south on 27, right down the middle of the state, make a left on 60, like you're going out towards the East Coast towards Vero Beach. There's a Tropicana factory there. Stinks like crap. Like 2 miles before, you can tell you're getting close to the Tropicana place. Nothing against Tropicana, it makes great orange juice, but it stinks. But that was something that Nikki was really trying to push, was getting more hemp in here, and then that way we could have more hemp-based products out of Florida, and I could see it would really help. But
there's a lot of hemp-based products out of in Vegas there's a lot, in Zona, Arizona there's a lot, in Cali there's a lot. I would like to see, that's a good idea, that you have of a hemp-based product out there. There's a company out there who is out here in Florida. They should contact us. Yeah. That'd be nice to see how we can work together with them, because that's the next step, honestly.
Yeah.
We can really take that. And what's really cool, how it end up being, dude? You're going to end up seeing in the next 5 years, when the state of Florida becomes marijuana out here, you're going to see offices very similar to mine only sell hemp derivative CBD products. And then you're going to see the offices like the dispensaries selling the THC CBD ratios and the CBD with small, because we're going to have to pick and choose. And dispensaries, honestly, they're not built the smartest. The people who own dispensaries aren't the smartest people in the bunch, dude. They honestly don't think about this shit. Like, you put dispensaries on that location.
I think we called out a few a couple of weeks ago.
Hell yeah, I called Knox out. Knox is fucking retarded.
Right. Exactly.
You came out to Orlando, you have literally 3 parking spots in front of your location. It's 7 altogether, but better than 6 restaurants right there. You have another restaurant in the corner. Then you have another parking right there. You have 4 spots. So you have 7 parking spots for your patients to go in there. Your lobby is smaller than my bathroom. You have no patient access, and when you go see a patient, you're talking right next to them. Like we're talking right now. There's no patient confidentiality. Yeah. They didn't think this shit out. Curaleaf came out into the drive-thru. They thought the drive-thru was the greatest thing in the world. That drive-thru is slower than molasses, bro.
Well, we were talking about this yesterday. I think there's certain industries where they've taken a model, like let's just take the dispensaries, right? Mm-hmm. You have to look at it for what it is. It is basically a place to get your medicine or like your supplies. Look at what industries are very similar to that. Not even from like medical marijuana, not marijuana or anything, but you have to think about a business model that's going to reflect, okay, we want to get people in here with confidentiality. We want to make them feel comfortable. Let's figure out a way where we can do that. And let's look at other fields or other places that do something similar. Because they're just trying to make it up as they go, and then they end up creating something that's not efficient.
They have more security guards at dispensaries than they do people behind the cash registers. You're much easier to get helped with your products, buying all your products and everything. Cashing out's the longest. And cashing out, when you're buying 5 or 6 different products, you can buy a oil now, a cream. I can tell you how to put the cream on. I can tell you to wrap it up. Where's my instructions to follow that? It's built stupid, man. I just really wish they changed it up. But Harvest, when they open up, they're a little different. I hope somebody comes out here and is a little smart. There's like 13 dispensaries out here. I think 25 altogether got their license to get approved. So hopefully somebody gets it right.
Do we got a timeline on when they open up?
Ooh. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We can find out though.
That'd be interesting.
I don't think there is. It's $5 million to put up. You got the application alone to become a dispensary in the state of Florida is $5 million just for the application.
And I thought a liquor license was expensive.
No, a liquor license for a lot of them will cost you about $50,000 to $100,000. Out here in Orlando, to rent your license, you're about $10,000 to $12,000 a month. To buy your license, $250,000.
That's That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It was a couple
It's
hundred
a
K.
$250,000 more, especially out here in Orlando. I'll say only county you might get it for $200,000. You might get it $50,000 cheaper, but no way, bro.
That's crazy. But just $5 million for a dispensary.
No, you're not understanding, my brother. That is just the application.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
You gotta
just
have the
to
farm.
apply.
Yeah, you gotta have people. You gotta have. Like I met the guy who did it for Afria. I forgot his director of something. Basically, the head science guy who's going to make sure all your products are done. You have a separate doctor to test your products. But really, you need property, $5 million, and about 3 or 4 doctors. And that's it. It's really not that hard to do a dispensary. It's just a lot of cash up front. And the state of Florida eats that money. That's their money, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
that's not even going to. That's their money that goes to them.
It's the application fee.
Yeah.
If you thought $77 for a medical marijuana card was expensive, you're opening a dispensary.
And that's why all the dispensaries, as soon as they get approved, they open up. Each dispensary should open up a dispensary a month. That's their goal. 6 weeks most likely. I've never seen a company open up faster than probably Curly. They're like 14 now, I think.
Yeah, they do have a lot.
Yeah, they open up, but they get caught a lot with like city permits, and they just want to open the building next to it, and then they fuck up after. Like I think there's 4 or 5 pure locations right now that doesn't have signs. Because the signs are the hardest thing to do, bro. But they just want to open it. They spent that $5 million. They want to get their money back.
Yeah.
It's business. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, you got to make some money.
Yeah.
Let's kind of shift back into like the actual medical marijuana process. Do you ever see like maybe insurance coming through and helping out patients?
I've heard in New York that they're accepting medical cannabis, New Jersey, for insurance purposes. I feel that they're going to start to do that within the next year or two, but I would be interested. And that's the thing is like, we all know bud is coming because we've been hearing about it for a year and a half.
Forever.
I haven't heard a single thing about medicine or insurances or anything from Ms. Nikki or any of those people out there. That's another thing where people ask us all the time, can we get this, can we get that? And I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's tough to tell right now because like we're almost in this transition right now, going from Rick Scott, who was appealing a whole bunch of things, and you have DeSantis and Nikki, and now Holly Bell. So I guess anything could happen. You know, anything's possible. And just a reminder, if you haven't done so already, please go to www.agreenrelief.com/get-started, and that will put you into the page of just all of your information you can input and set up your appointment. Once you get your appointment set up, you'll see the doctor, and if you're not sure what to expect in that first appointment, we've done a couple of shows to kind of help you along the process, show you, and just answer some questions that you might have. But once you get that process, you become part of the family. You get one of these T-shirts, right? First one's for free. Second one's just $10. And again, follow us and like us on all of our social media: Instagram, Facebook. We're on YouTube. We are doing this podcast, so wherever you listen to your podcast, make sure you subscribe. And when you do that, screenshot it, let us know. Come into the Kissimmee location. It's 801 Oak Street.
Yep.
And
Suite number 104.
you can't miss it. Let us know, show us, and then we'll go ahead and hook you up with some gear and start spreading the word. Now, we don't have any questions today as far as anything on Instagram. That's about it for today. I wanted to cover that and just to kind of see what, Carrie's thoughts of what the industry was looking like in the next couple of years, because it's going to change drastically.
Yeah.
It's going to change drastically. I mean, we've talked a lot about Nikki Fried and Holly Bell. There's a lot of things that they haven't even, I don't even think they've begun to scratch the surface on. It's just, there's a whole slew of different things that they can do. I think we're in good hands.
Yeah, I think we need to start atting them more, dude. I keep telling you this, I preach to you. We need to take clips of this 45-minute long thing and at them, post it. Like, anybody follows us, we're going to be much more active on social media. We're going to start acting more physicians, more doctor offices, more dispensaries. We're going to get people in here. The legal team can take only so long.
Yep.
If not, we'll be the legal team. And we'll just talk to you live. And, You don't have to respond to it.
Exactly.
You poke the bear. Does that keep poking the bear? Be careful, some shit.
Yeah,
Well, I'm poking, motherfucker.
that's right. Something with bears and poking.
Yeah, well, I'm poking, man. I'm a lion, so look at this shit.
All right. Well, that does it for us today. If you guys have any questions, please let us know. DM us, message us when we're live. We'll answer those questions right when we see them. Give us a call. Email us by any means necessary. We're here for you guys. We want to help you and the whole community of Florida with medical marijuana. Once again, I'm Sean and my co-host Carrie.
Yep. It's a pleasure, man.
Yes, it was. It was good. I feel like these types of conversations always get you fired up, and I love it.
Yeah, it was great. A lot of people came on. A lot of people had their opinions. A bunch of people seem to respond back to us about this. So
yeah,
I'd like to hear what you guys think. Is medical marijuana a gateway drug? Yes or no?
Yes. Leave a comment. Let us know. That's a good point. Carrie, you brought up some really good points about that.
Yeah, I think it is. And if you want to come onto the show, you're a patient of Green Reliefs, you're a medical marijuana patient, come on in, we can talk. And I'm not, this is not an argument, this is just opinions. And we can only way to fix my opinions, start regulating things. Start putting a little more, start being a little more accountable. You know what's crazy? Fuck, it's not even a prescription. You get a recommendation. The state approves you. Like, why is there physicians here? You just go ahead and do your shit. Do it yourself.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy right now.
They try to govern. It's like being in a relationship with a man who doesn't allow you to do shit. He won't allow you to go to the bathroom without his permission. He won't allow you to go to school, bitch. He won't allow you to fucking go get the mail. It's stupid to me. You have to go to mom and dad for everything. This is not the way business should be ran, and especially medicine.
Yeah, that's a big thing, man. You know, it's not. I think the conversation today, at least for me, it opened up a couple of perspectives. I think the whole scope of this conversation transcends just legalizing weed.
Yeah,
it's
about
much.
The Benjamins, baby.
It's bigger than that, man. It's way bigger than that. And if we do it right, we can be better than Colorado, than California, than Oregon.
Man, the only reason why Colorado came out, there's nothing to do with Colorado. Going to Colorado, that's just like going to Oklahoma, man. They got basketball, that's about. They got baseball.
No, oh, dude.
You're going to ski? What else?
Yeah.
But my boy, what else are you doing out there? You're not getting in trouble. Colorado out there is basically, you live out there. Think about Vegas. They made Vegas recreational because the tourist attraction to it.
Okay.
It didn't even go medical. Colorado medical, then recreational. That's a great state because people stay in Colorado and they live there.
Yeah.
Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Colorado
right.
was a great state to pick because you live in Colorado, you're not moving from Colorado, man. That's where you go retire from, you live your family from.
Oh, it's the same thing with Florida, though. You get a lot of people, even seasonal folks. You know, you get people who are here for 6 months out of the year because they don't want to deal with the freaking shit up north right now.
But you know what's bad? But I'm from the islands, and so my parents from Trinidad. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale. I've seen growing up more people in the past 10 years, maybe they prefer not to come to Florida. They're going to Texas. They're going to other locations. Texas right now is huge. I had my cousin leave Florida to go to Texas, and she's an ultrasound tech. Got paid twice the amount of money. The house is twice the size for half the price.
It's true.
It's I don't know. Florida's so congested now. You see apartments coming up everywhere. Would I really raise my family where I grew up? No.
No. Oh, no.
Not happening.
No. South Florida especially. It's changed. I was born and raised in Martin County. Martin County is.
I just heard about County.
It's just north of like Jupiter.
Cool. Yeah.
So, grew up 10 minutes from the beach almost my entire life, and there's so many condos and apartment complexes now. Like, trying to buy a house down there or just rent an apartment, even here in Orlando, is crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
It's fun out here. You making $1,500 every 2 weeks, $2,000 every 2 weeks. That's great money. Fucking rent's $1,800. It's $1,600. You can't survive on a 3-bedroom no more. People are leaving Camden. Bringing in cannabis is going to bring great revenue to the state of Florida. Excellent.
Well, okay. So if let's say Las Vegas is more of like a tourist attraction, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get Colorado, it's more of like you go there, you stay. I feel like Florida is like right in the middle of that.
Yes. and it's going to make or break like our hourly wages. We're getting paid $9 or 8 something minimum wage. You know, in New York it's $15 an hour.
Yeah.
Like we have to figure out our tolls keep going up every year. We went from being 75 cents at the Sun Pass to $1.25 now.
That pisses me off. I'm not gonna lie.
This is every year is going up.
Yeah.
How much times do I get told 6 to 10 times a day, boy? Like that shit adds up. We keep going on and on.
Yeah.
But when cannabis becomes recreational, our state tax is going to improve. Medicine, and meaning our offices, is going to be more popular than ever because they're going to want that 30% per purchase that they get. So every $100 they get, they're going to get 30% off because of being a medical marijuana patient, plus whatever discounts they have going on. So in 5 years, marijuana will become legal in the state of Florida. It's going to be recreational for sure. We're still going to be around. There's going to be more, honestly, more marijuana offices than us than there is now. You're really going to see it right next to every dispensary. And once it becomes recreational, there's something called safe harbor laws. That's where a doctor office refers to another doctor office. They cannot receive funds for that payment. You can receive a gift, you can receive a car, you can receive a bag of weed.
Hey, that's
but
not
you
bad.
cannot trade money. When it becomes recreational and your office is right next door, there's no more
Safe harbor laws.
right. Why do you think Doc and J and MMTC, those companies, they don't open up for money? Those other recommendation offices, that's why I talk about how many days. Those people are open 2-3 days a week. MMTC is open Tuesdays and Saturdays, Tuesdays and Fridays.
Right. Well, because they have their doctors have to rotate through all that.
No, because they're bullshit and they're broke and they can't afford $100 an hour for a doctor. They don't want to pay $16,000 a month. That's straight up. How you got to pay this? 8 times 40 is what, my boy? 4 times 4 is what? That's $1,600. They got $16,000. They got to pay a doctor a month. They open up offices without doing their research, without going online. And then offices trying to do Canna Talk. Do your Canna Talk with patients. Show online. Educate them.
Yeah.
I love what they're doing.
Yep.
But open up your offices more. Have patient accessibility. You think that shit's cool? It's videotaping 20 patients in your lobby. You have one doctor. That means how long is wait time? Like, I'm gonna start asking that shit. How long does the patient have to wait? 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour? It's dumb shit, man.
Then that's like when you go to a regular DO or your family physician, and you end up your appointment's at noon. And you end up seeing the doctor at 2 o'clock. He sees you for 5 minutes.
Yeah, and they bitch and they complain.
Yeah.
I paid $15 copay and you charge my insurance, but you just paid $400 to that doctor office to see him for 2 minutes and he doesn't even work there full time.
Yeah.
And you're gonna see him one time in 7 months. Or they're gonna fuck you and they're gonna say, hey, listen, I'm gonna charge you $39 a month. I don't gotta calculate, I'm not that great at math. What's 39 times 12? Somebody I can DM me and tell me. Think about this shit. That's well over $400, my boy. That's well over $420.
Yeah.
Well over that.
Yeah.
We're charging $250.
That's close to 500.
See? Not good at math, guys.
475-ish.
And that's what you charge for a year for them to pull your money from your account. You think that's cool. You think that's great. But guess what? They'll stop your recommendation right then and there. And they'll cancel your stuff. And you can't.
Again, that's kind of like what we talked about before. It's like, these people get into it and they don't do their research, and you get these doctors who have probably their doctor and they've been practicing. They're probably good at their job. I would assume. I would hope.
They took a 2-hour course and not.
But then you take a 2-hour course and you're certified, quote unquote, just like if you were a personal trainer, right?
Yep. We talked about that.
Yeah. If let's say you're in decent shape, you take a personal training course over the weekend, which I've done before. I'm not knocking it, but I was in my early 20s. I didn't know what I was doing, trying to get some experience, some knowledge. Yeah, it was great. But again, we're not recommending, or I wasn't recommending, prescriptions or recommendations for like serious life-altering diseases.
What people don't understand, even if you don't have a life-altering disease and you're a marijuana patient, my boy, there's no difference between if I have cancer and you don't, because you take marijuana for 12 hours when you're up, and I take marijuana for 12 hours. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's factoring in my life for 12 to 24 hours a day, bro.
Yeah.
No one's putting it into our system. We pay extra for fucking, my wife kicks my ass when I buy organic eggs because it's brown. It's just a waste of time. How the fuck you know it's organic? You're right. You're 1,000% right. But my knowledge that I learned was this is the better thing to eat. Same thing with cannabis.
Yeah.
You come to a doctor office, you get your right information, you go and buy your right product. It doesn't matter if you have to buy that bullshit. You know what you're buying. That's the purpose of this, man. That's the purpose of doing this.
That's all it is. Education.
Yeah.
Educating all of these people in Florida. All right. I think if we're gonna cut it off now, because we could easily talk all afternoon about this. And believe me, we can go on some rants. I know this guy can. All right, guys. That's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow again, 11 o'clock. We're going to be back on live on Instagram and Facebook. We're going to be up on the podcast. We're going to be up on YouTube. If you haven't done so already, follow us on everything. We're going to be doing this. And as we continue to do this, it's only going to get bigger and better. And then we're going to get more people. And so you guys will want to stay tuned for this, okay? Also, make sure you screenshot that you're following us and subscribed onto our YouTube channel and podcast. Get yourself a t-shirt. Like I said, every time I wear this t-shirt out in public, I'm either getting a photograph taken or somebody's asking me, oh, are you guys like a dispensary or something? And then I have to explain, no, we're a recommendation office. So that right there means that we got to keep educating people, because they assume if you work in this industry, you're automatically a bud tender or a dispensary. So like I said, we'll be back. You guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. We're almost to the weekend. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.